Welcome to College Prep Confidential, empowering your student with the elite tools they need to get accepted to their dream university. Discover test-taking blueprints from Ivy League professionals, financial aid secrets to get more money for school, and mindset tips for a better college future. Now please welcome your host, Don Sevcik.
Thank you for checking out episode 22 of the College Prep Confidential podcast. This week, I want to talk about when hitting the brakes and slowing down gives you a chance to make thousands of dollars in financial aid. And we'll do that in an episode entitled, Do You Make These Financial Aid Mistakes? I love to go fast, especially through or around boring stuff. If I'm in a boring party, a boring meeting, or a boring conversation, I'm immediately cycling through in my brain to find ways to speed it up and get it over with. But in life, there are certain things you'll have a better experience with if you slow down and do it right the first time. Spending the extra time up front reaps you piles of benefits versus going fast and leaving rewards on the table. It reminds me of an old joke. There are two bulls standing on a hill overlooking a pasture full of cows. The younger bull, eager but lacking experience, says to the old bull, "Hey, let's run down there and make love to a cow." The old bull, who has spent season after season in the pasture, turns to the younger bull, smiles, and replies, "Nah, how about we walk down there and make love to them all?" You see, if you spend some time up front, you'll avoid stupid mistakes. When you spend some time up front, you will attract untold riches. And nowhere is this more apparent than the FAFSA process. In order to qualify for federal financial aid at any U.S. college, you will need to fill out the free application for federal student aid, or, as it's known by others, FAFSA. FAFSA is described affectionately by some people as an invasive, pain-in-the-butt, time-consuming bureaucratic process. I mean, let's be honest. Who wants to fill out forms? Especially government forms. But it's a necessary evil if you want to get thousands of dollars or more in financial aid. Now, according to multiple financial aid advisors and college students, the FAFSA takes 1 to 3 hours to fill out. And then there's the deadlines. It's October 1 through June 30th of the next year. As I record this, it's September 2019, which means FAFSA starts in a few weeks on October 1st. Now, before you fill out the FAFSA, here's a few items you must have before you start the process. And the first is an FSA ID, and you can get this at fsaid.ed.gov. Follow the instructions on the site. The FSA ID gives you access to federal student aid's online systems and serves as your legal signature. You'll also need your driver's license number, your social security number, your tax records, your income and assets, and finally, a list of schools you're even thinking about attending. And I'll get to why you should have a list of schools and not one school in just a few moments. Once you have all the pre-required items, let's talk about how you get started. If you fill out an online FAFSA, it's the fastest and easiest way to apply for financial aid. And you can do that on the FAFSA website at fafsa.ed.gov. FAFSA is free, by the way. There's no filing fee. Now, once you have the list of things you need, here's what to do. Go find somewhere quiet with no distractions to fill out the form. While this might seem like mundane paperwork, it might unlock the key to thousands of dollars in financial aid directly in your pocket. So please take it seriously. And if you don't listen to anything else on this episode, listen to this list I'm about to give you. It's the 14 most common mistakes people make when they fill out the FAFSA. Here we go. Mistake number 1, the first and obvious, but we have to state this because many people make this mistake. You have to fill out the form. If you don't fill it out, you don't get any money. And no money means you will be saddled with more debt and interest piling up in your future. Mistake number 2, fill out forms early so you don't miss deadlines. Certain colleges are first come, first served for financial aid, and we've covered this on a prior episode. Not all, but certain colleges. And the grant money dries up as the clock ticks on. Remember, as soon as the deadline bell rings, thousands of other students are piling in to get their hands on all the financial aid they can. Competition is fierce, and the longer you wait, the more you'll suffer. Mistake number 3, filing the wrong year. Read the instructions and make sure you're filling out the correct year for your financial aid application. Mistake number 4, incorrect Social Security numbers or date of birth. You'd be surprised how often this happens when people have a typo with their Social Security number or they do the wrong year on the date of birth. Mistake number 5, marital status errors. Mistake number 6, fill the form out completely. The common mistake people make is thinking the FAFSA form is for free money only, such as the federal Pell Grant. But it's more than that. It's also the application for federal work-study funds, federal student loans, and even scholarships and grants offered by your state, school, or private organization. Mistake number 7, deadlines. Each state and school sets their own deadlines, and if you miss it, you're out. No replays, no forgiveness, do not pass go, and do not collect $200, $2,000, $20,000, or whatever financial aid you just flushed down the toilet. Mistake number 8, wrong financial amounts, like your adjusted gross income. Make sure you have all your income amounts for the prior few years. Mistake number 9, get your FSA ID first. This is the ID used to sign your FAFSA form online. Fill it out online and things move faster and easier. Mistake number 10. Not shortcutting the forms by linking to the IRS data retrieval. If you use this function, it will save you time and eliminate errors by connecting and going to grab any filings you made with the IRS. Mistake number 11, not adding all the schools you're looking into on this form. If you fill out multiple schools, you're going to get multiple financial aid quotes. And as I've said before, you can use these numbers against the other colleges to stir up competition, raise bids, and put more money directly in your pocket. And if you haven't listened to those episodes, please, when this episode ends, go back and listen to them. Mistake number 12, not signing the FAFSA form. Remember, this is an application, and if you don't sign it, it's not considered a legal document. Mistake number 13, reluctance. The FAFSA asks questions about family finances. The kids may not know what the parents make, and the parents may be reluctant to admit what they make. And mistake number 14, you must fill it out each year. Just because you got financial aid last year doesn't mean it renews automatically. So remember, fill out the financial aid for every year you're going to need it. I list these errors because if you make them, you have to correct them. And sometimes they cost you thousands of dollars in financial aid. Some people continuously make errors only to have to go back and do it over and over and over again. And when I hear and see these stories, it reminds me of Sisyphus. Sisyphus, by the way, was a cruel Greek king who was punished to push a large rock up a steep hill, only to find as he got near the top, the rock rolled backwards, and he had to go all the way to the bottom. And ever since, his punishment was been pushing the rock tirelessly until eternity, all the way up to the top, and then it would roll back down, and he'd repeat. To avoid following in the footsteps of Sisyphus, fill out the form correctly the first time. Now, if you do this right the first time, the next question is, what are my next steps? Assuming you completed your FAFSA with no errors and you filed electronically, the general response time is 3 to 5 days. After this time, you'll get your student aid report with your expected family contribution, known as the EFC. We've covered the EFC in a few prior episodes, so please go back and listen to those episodes because what I'm giving you for free is a gold mine on how to get more financial aid. And you get more financial aid by cranking up your EFC number. Your EFC is an index number used by college financial aid staff to determine how much financial aid you would receive if you were to attend their school. The information you report on your FAFSA form is used to calculate your EFC. So when you apply to multiple colleges, as I've advised, you'll see the various financial aid packages you'd be eligible to receive. The key word here is eligible. It's not guaranteed. It's merely a calculation. Now, I know we've covered a lot in this episode. We've covered a ton, actually. From deadlines to errors to quirks in filing, this entire FAFSA process can be overwhelming. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you need help, I've got a special offer for you today. I work with a financial aid company with expertise in FAFSA and college financial aid. And what I've done is I've reserved a few spots for podcast listeners like you to get a free college prep strategy session worth $250. Now, this team of experts will walk through your goals and shed more light on the FAFSA process. And in the free strategy session, if you like what you hear and decide to work with them after, you'll get the FAFSA process done for you, step by step, completely. They will hold your hand and do it for you. And even if you don't move on with our company and just take advantage of the free strategy session worth $250, you're going to get deep insight into the FAFSA process and how college financial aid really works. Now, if this resonates with you, then call 1-800-234-2933 to claim your free strategy session. Once again, that's 1-800-234-2933. Leave your contact information with my assistant and mention the free college prep strategy session from this podcast, and we'll get you set up with the free session. Are you still unsure whether you need help or if the FAFSA even matters? Well, let me ask you this. How would you feel if 4 years from now you had an extra $35,000 in student loan debt? All because you didn't spend the time to take the FAFSA process seriously. Here's another question. What if there was a flip side of that coin? How would it feel if you work with an expert, and because you work with an expert and maximized your FAFSA EFC number, you got an extra $15,000 in financial aid because you got help from the right people? Would your life be different? If so, then why not try out the free offer? Again, that number is 1-800-234-2933. I want to thank you for listening, and I will see you next week.
That's all for this episode of College Prep Confidential. To discover how to give your student a better future by increasing financial aid, improving test scores, and reducing stress, visit our website at cpcshow.com. That's cpcshow.com.